The ticket price. This does not shock me at all. What did I say earlier? The WNBA was about to F around and find out, and these rival teams were going to be in a lot of trouble. Well, they're finding out.
How can the absence of just one player cause ticket prices to nosedive by 71% overnight? That's the Caitlin Clark effect. Take the Fever versus Sky matchup. Tickets plummeted from $86 to just $25 as soon as news broke she wouldn't be playing. This isn't a league-wide slump. It's the real-time economic impact of a single superstar. Some games are now seeing get-in prices as low as $9, a number that would have seemed impossible just weeks ago.
The Caitlin Clark effect has been a net positive for the WNBA and all of its teams. But the star guard expected to miss a minimum of 2 weeks. The league will see the flip side of her impact, and there are already initial data points. This is front office sports, no conspiracies, no BS from them. Statistical data.
Is this the ultimate proof that Caitlin Clark is the only one truly moving the needle in the WNBA? And with that kind of spotlight, will Angel Reese struggle to keep up in her shadow? Let's break down the shocking numbers behind this sudden drop in demand and uncover what's really going on in this growing WNBA crisis.
Well, now might be the time to hit the panic button. 48 hours after news hits that Caitlin Clark is injured and she'll be missing 2 weeks, the market has responded, and the market has told the WNBA, we don't want this. We want her, but we don't want this.
Before Caitlin Clark went down, every Indiana Fever date felt like a must-see headline event, with fans happily shelling out more than $80 just to squeeze through the turnstiles. The buzz was so electric that front offices scrambled to cash in, none more boldly than the Chicago Sky, who abandoned their cozy 10,400-seat Wintrust Arena for the cavernous 21,000-seat United Center. A move that screamed confidence that one rookie could single-handedly pack an NBA-sized house. Yet the moment Clark was sidelined, the market turned on a dime. The frenzy dissolved, get-in prices tumbled, and the league's grand experiment in superstar-driven demand was laid bare in a single, dramatic freefall.
Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent. They're a dumpster fire now. And now that Caitlin Clark is injured, the ticket prices for the Fever and Sky game just plummeted to Hades.
Let's dig into the numbers. Take the Fever versus Sky matchup at the United Center. Before Caitlin Clark's injury, the cheapest ticket was going for $86. But the moment she was ruled out, that price plummeted to just $25. That's a staggering 71% drop, and it happened almost overnight. The pattern didn't stop there. For the Fever's road game in Baltimore against the Mystics, get-in prices dropped from $41 to $22 after the news, a 47% free fall. This isn't just a coincidence. It's a clear sign of who's really driving demand in the WNBA.
They stink now. Yeah, it's about me too. No, it's not. And this is proof.
Even at smaller venues like the Dreams Gateway Center Arena, ticket prices soared when Caitlin Clark was expected to play. Get-in prices hit as high as $147. Her presence alone was setting the market, dictating what fans were willing to pay. And this wasn't an isolated case or a one-off spike. It was a consistent pattern across multiple games, proving that Clark's impact wasn't just hype. It was measurable, game-changing economics.
To games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement, an average ticket price of $137, all the way down to $80.
Did you catch that? In the 5 Indiana Fever games leading up to June 10th, the average ticket price dropped from $137 to just $80 after Caitlin Clark's injury, a 42% plunge in a matter of weeks. These aren't minor shifts. This is fans sending a loud, unmistakable message: no Clark, no sale. The demand for tickets is directly tethered to her presence on the court, and when she's not there, the buzz evaporates. You can literally feel the energy deflate from the arena before the game even begins.
People are selling their tickets definitely can't get face value. So what do? They just continue to lower and lower and lower and lower and lower the price. This isn't all resellers, folks. Hate to break it to you. A majority of these are everyday normal people. A majority of these are everyday normal people who watch Caitlin Clark in Iowa, watch her in her first year in Indiana, said, man, I want to watch that. I want to go to those games. I want to experience that. They won't be able to experience it. Time to sell.
The United Center move was meant to be a celebration, a bold statement about the rising popularity of women's basketball, a stage set for Caitlin Clark and the league's new generation of stars. But when Clark was ruled out, that plan crumbled. Instead of a packed arena buzzing with excitement, the Sky were left staring at rows of empty seats. The WNBA's gamble on Clark's star power was exposed in real time. And this isn't just about ticket prices. Her absence drains the energy, deflates the crowd, and leaves the entire atmosphere feeling flat. When she's not on the court, the difference is impossible to ignore.
I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it. Everybody else, get in the back. Get in the back.
This isn't your typical star injury situation where fans grumble but still show up. The WNBA's numbers make it painfully clear. Caitlin Clark's absence is a full-blown crisis. Yes, the league has grown, but that growth is alarmingly dependent on one player. If a single injury can spark this kind of collapse in ticket demand and fan engagement, what does that reveal about the league's foundation? It shows there's no solid bench of marketable stars ready to carry the momentum, at least not yet. The WNBA isn't just facing a setback, it's staring down a brutal reality check it can no longer afford to ignore.
The marquee matchup in the WNBA, like it or love it, rivalry or not, Chicago Sky, Indiana Fever, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, that is the marquee matchup in the WNBA, and those tickets are crashing just as well. From $86 48 hours ago to $25. And by the time June 7th rolls around, it might cost you a bag of Skittles and some Lay's potato chips to get in there.
With Caitlin Clark sidelined, all eyes have shifted to who can step up and carry the weight, and one name keeps surfacing: Angel Reese. But if you've been paying attention to the numbers, the answer is becoming increasingly clear. Reese isn't that player. With Clark out, Reese becomes the face of the moment. Her off-court personality, her social media presence, and her confidence keep her in headlines. She's said fans tune in for her, and she's undoubtedly built a massive brand. But when it comes to real impact, specifically putting fans in seats, the numbers don't back the hype. Look at what happened with the Chicago Sky. When Clark was expected to play, tickets were going for $86. After her injury, prices crashed by 71%, down to just $25. The Sky didn't book the massive United Center as a fun experiment. They were banking on the Reese versus Clark rivalry to be a box office draw. But once Clark was ruled out, demand evaporated and the arena suddenly looked oversized and underwhelming. This trend isn't limited to Chicago. The Fever's game against the Mystics in Baltimore, Angel Reese's hometown, also saw ticket prices drop from $41 to $22, a 47% fall, even with Reese still playing. For all the talk about her star power, fans simply aren't showing up the same way they do for Clark. At one point, those tickets were going for $100. Now they're being offloaded at a loss, with an overwhelming number of listings from fans trying to get rid of them. Reese has stayed quiet on the declining ticket sales and disappearing buzz, and that silence has only fueled speculation about whether she's feeling the pressure. Her swagger remains, but the spotlight is now doubling as a stress test. Many assumed Reese's college fame, viral moments, and massive following would translate into ticket sales. But that assumption is crashing hard against reality. Clark sells out arenas, Reese doesn't. At least not yet. And that's not to knock Reese's talent. She's a star in her own right. But there's a massive gap between being a star and being a draw. The WNBA has leaned heavily into the idea that Reese could keep interest high in Clark's absence. That gamble is unraveling. Attendance is down, Ticket prices are crashing, and the buzz is fading fast. This isn't just about Angel Reese. It's about what happens to an entire league when its most valuable asset goes down. Without Clark, the WNBA is feeling the financial aftershocks in real time. From merchandise to food and beverage sales, teams are losing big. They banked on full arenas and are instead staring at empty seats and declining interest. Last year, the WNBA lost $40 million, and now owners are watching this freefall with growing concern. If the upcoming media rights deal takes a hit due to Clark's absence, the consequences will be enormous. Less money for teams, fewer resources for players, and even greater doubts about the league's long-term viability. The WNBA's entire business model looks alarmingly fragile when it relies so heavily on one player's health. And let's not forget, Clark has global options. Overseas teams could offer her $20 million annually, figures the WNBA simply can't match. If she were to get injured long-term or decide to leave for Europe, the league would be in a crisis. This isn't just speculation, it's a very real possibility. Even a few weeks out can derail momentum. This was always the risk. If you build your product around one star, what happens when she's not there? Some argue the league should protect stars like Clark the same way the NBA or MLS does with players like Messi. Give them the superstar calls, keep them healthy, keep them happy. Because without them, the product falls apart. And when WNBA owners, many of whom are also NBA owners, start asking when the league will finally make money, that's not just impatience. That's a sign the league is on life support. The comparison to Messi in MLS is apt. When he's out, attendance drops, viewership sinks. Now, the WNBA finds itself in the same boat. Despite efforts to elevate other players, no one else is moving the needle like Clark. And hoping someone else just steps up isn't a strategy. The Reese experiment has shown us that. She's popular, she's marketable, but she's not a ticket seller on Clark's level. The WNBA has to rethink its entire strategy for marketing stars and building sustainable momentum. The league can't afford to place all its hopes on one player, only to watch everything collapse the moment she's sidelined. Everyone with common sense knows Caitlin Clark is on another level. Her college career was historic, her presence has boosted WNBA interest to NFL-level headlines, and she's changed the financial landscape of the league. Ticket prices for Fever home games dropped 42% after her injury. That Sky matchup? A 71% collapse overnight. Games that were once sellouts are now struggling to get fans through the door. Even with Reese stepping into the spotlight, the numbers tell the truth. No one else can pull fans like Clark can. This isn't just a speed bump, it's a full-blown crisis. If the WNBA wants to survive long-term, it needs more than hope. It needs a new model, one that doesn't depend so heavily on a single superstar to keep the league afloat. The cracks in the foundation are widening, and Clark's injury just exposed how shaky things really are.